Mr. Miftar from Kosovo. Miftar. Why is there always trouble in Muslim countries?
Ask them. I'm always troubled by their troubles. It's very unfortunate. The message of Islam, which they try to convey to the world, is a distorted message of Islam. It's very troublesome. If you believe in that sort of Islam in which they believe, the medievals, there will always be trouble in the name of Islam. So I denounce that. On behalf of the Ahmadiyya community all over the world, I tell you that we do not agree with these troublemakers, Islam. We believe in Islam as it stands for peace. Trouble and peace do not go together. So Islam means peace. So wherever we preach, we convey the message of peace, and that's all.
Mr. Darren Wilcox, who's a British Christian researcher. Darren Wilcox.
British?
Researcher, he's Christian. Is it not idolatry to bow down to a stone object, for example, a statue or shrine, or the Kaaba in Mecca?
To bow down to a statue is idolatry. But to bow down in the direction of Kaaba from all over the world, from all directions, is not idolatry, because this is done only to teach the Muslims that they must have their faces to one God. And when they face Kaaba, they never think of Kaaba at all. The Holy Prophet advised that they must concentrate on God throughout their prayer, so much so that they should think that they are watching God. Kaaba completely disappears from their mental eye. And if they can't do that, they should at least realize that while they are saying their prayers, God is watching them. So Kaaba, during the act of prayer, is neither here nor there. So it is not idolatry.
Mr. Yusuf Ahmed Chilton, who is English. How many times should a Muslim give bay'ah at the hands of the Khalifa?
Once is enough. But out of their own desire to be initiated again and again, people join me. But just once is quite enough for lifetime. For the lifetime of the Caliph and for the lifetime of the person who does that bay'at.
Hazur, I have two questioners that are asking similar questions. The first is Edney Boston Griffiths, who is a medical student from Sierra Leone.
Where is he? Yes.
And Sarah Judy, who became a Muslim after being a Sikh.
Where is he? She. Achha. She became a Muslim after?
She was a Sikh before.
Sikh before.
Sikh.
This is right.
They are questions about the status of men and women in Islam. So the first question is, why is there separation between men and women?
There is no separation between men and women. It's impossible to separate men and women because they are tied, according to Islam, in the ceremony of marriage, and they are devoted to each other from ever on. So there is no separation in that sense. But to discourage illicit relationship, women are guarded against men's eyes and men's touches, because they always try to win women illicitly to them. So women are protected from men. Men are also protected from women. In the same course, both are protected from each other, but the compliments go to the women that Islam considers them to be more pious by nature, more chaste in their nature. And the same, unfortunately, cannot be said about the men of any age.
Sarah also asks, do Muslim women have to wear a hijab, and is it forbidden for them to wear makeup?
Women are admonished to wear hijab, and it varies, the definition of hijab varies from the society to society. In fact, if you see some Arab women nowadays here, they do not wear any hijab to cover their face. Some Ahmadi girls in England would be seen with their faces fully covered except eyes. And in between the two, there are many grades of hijab. The basic essential role of parda, that is hijab, is to protect women's chastity. And it all depends upon which society they come from. Some Ahmadi women, English women who have accepted Ahmadiyyat here, they just dress themselves decently. They don't show their arms or their legs and do not cover their face fully. In my opinion, they are absolved from any break of their responsibility. They are doing hijab all right. Hijab, in fact, is a matter of one's heart. I have noticed that those women who do that hijab, they somehow announce to the world that they are not for them. And wayward eyes do not fall upon them with any greed. So that is the true hijab. But in the society where hijab is traditionally held, like this burqa in Pakistan, when you break that hijab, girls, the younger generation particularly, feels that they are liberated from hijab and they can do anything they like. So to discourage this tendency of false freedom, we tell the older generations to keep an eye on such girls and prevent them from breaking away their ties. But if they don't, then we don't compel. According to Islam, there is no compulsion in religion. We do it only by advice and admonition. If they don't take our advice and admonition, they're free to do whatever they like. To their own disadvantage, of course.
Mr. Besim from Kosovo. How many Jamaats are there in the world? No, how many Jamaats are there in Islam? How many Jamaats, communities?
There is only one Jamaat in Islam, to my knowledge. That is Ahmadiyya Jamaat. The rest are only Jamaats in name, because they are separated. Jamaat means when you are united in one organization and you learn to rise and sit according to one voice. So there cannot be any Jamaat in the world without there being a Khalifa. Khalifa unites the East and West